Okay, this one's gonna be a twofer. That giant one over there. And right there is a logging company. You can see some burning on the right side over here, along with the whole mountain over there. And this one right here, obviously separated by unburned, so these are separate fires. We're about 20 miles north of Ellensburg, Washington. As you can see, ground scorch, unburnt weeds. The video in my last one didn't come out well. Oh, and by the way, that last one near Hermiston, Oregon happened at 10 a.m. this morning, and it was 1 p.m. I mistakenly said it was like, there's a scorched leaf. That's a little different. Scorched leaf. So, there's this one, all the way over to there, and it runs out in here, and then it stops right here, and that whole mountain over there is a plasma fire, and just below the windmills there is a logging company, and they keep sprinklers on their pile of logs 24/7 to keep them from combusting. That's not going to work much longer. This is the graduation from Earth School party. The song On Top of the World, I talked about it the other day, saying it's a mockery of the moon landing. It's a truther celebration day for the moon landing truth being revealed. I'm on top of the world. Been waiting for this since a child. And it's a long way down. And it's a long way up when you hit the ground. But get up now, get up now. Once you learn the truth, it's going to be hard. That video, On Top of the World, by Imagine Dragons, is not only a mockery of the moon landing, but the song that we will be cranking to 11 on the day they reveal the truth about the moon landing. That's what that song's about. So this is the graduation ceremony. This is like the last week of school, where it was a big party and no one had to do any homework or nothing, because we knew it was the end of the year, and the last week of school is a big party. And that's what this is. Party time, live it up. This is the last time that you'll be able to experience this for the first time. So this channel and the discussions we're going to be having going forward are going to be for the people with a 3-year degree in plasmology as far as this subject is concerned. Other people are going to have to learn on their own. But there are a lot here who have a 3-year degree in plasmology, and there are others who just came into the room. So I'll invite any of you, and you will know who you are, those who know just as much about this subject as I do, to answer any of those remedial questions. Because in the future, I'm just going to start deleting comments. I never have, and I haven't yet. And it's not a threat. I just don't want to waste the time of myself and the other viewers of this channel that have a 3-year degree debating with people. I'm not going to drag you along kicking and screaming. If you want to resist the evidence that I present and come up with some other explanation, that's your choice. I gave you the world and you threw it away. I won't be singing that song. There's another song I'll link in the description. Silent Running by Mike and the Mechanics. It says, don't believe in the church and state and everything they tell you. Just believe in me, I'm with the high command. It says, pray to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And in the same song it says, don't believe the church and the state and everything they tell you as if they are one, which is the case, and that's what I've been talking about for quite a while now, because it was Jesus Christ that I prayed to in a tear-drenched, heartfelt prayer My life changed that night I found my implant, and the blessings have continued to pile on ever since. And the Spirit is still with me every day. My niece joined the Satanic Temple last month. A few weeks ago, I hear my mom tell me this. A few days ago, I asked her, you think she would have done that if you'd showed her Jeff's Side Ministries? If she'd have been going to the Church of Jeff for the last 3 years, listening to what I'm saying, seeing what I'm showing, you think she would have joined the Satanic Temple? She said she did it to secure her right to an abortion. Then she'll have religious protection so she can always have an abortion. Notice how the burn line stops at the fence here. So we're going to start talking about some deep subjects. Earth School graduation day is upon us. This is the graduation ceremony. Here's the burn area, clear out to here for this one. And then way out there, the whole mountain's burned. And beneath the windmills, wherever they are, there they are. Beneath these windmills right here is the logging company. Piles of logs over there. You see, when I was in Missouri, at about 3 in the morning, as I'm walking around, there's a lady on a park bench all by herself, no one else in sight, and I know she's sitting there waiting for me. Because that's how the Spirit works. And at the time, that's just how it was. When I walked up to her and talked to her for a little bit, she says, it sounds like you're performing your ministry. And I said, yeah, it does kind of sound like that, but I've never been a ministry kind of guy to even listen to someone else's, much less perform my own. She said, well, God works in mysterious ways. And so with all that I've shown, you think my niece would have joined the Satanic Temple saying, oh, that's just all hocus pocus. Again, ash in the center, weeds around the edge. She said, oh, they're just all about all the good stuff. And I did it to protect my right to an abortion. If she saw that he who can draw down fire from the heavens is here now, and she watched all my videos saying, join us witches, join this Antichrist. Because that's what that church and all of their lemmings will call me. You think she would have joined the Satanic Temple? Or recognize there's enough spiritual mojo going on right here that there's not a chance. This world is just what it seems. Because, you know, the Satanists, they don't really believe in God. They just believe that when we go into the ground, it's a black hole and you never know you existed. Not a chance. 3 years ago, before she was a brainwashed Biden lover, she was still malleable. And why did you not show her? To protect your own self-image, and that's why I did it too. To protect her relationship with her grandmother. We'll talk about this more when I get a little bit less boisterous and arrogant. But we're going to talk about, you know how intelligence agencies tell their intel agents, like the James Bond type, even just regular intel agents. I cannot confirm or deny any knowledge of that subject. You know the saying. You know that's the standard operating procedure for secret information that you have a clearance for, etc. These have a hole in the ground by them for whatever reason. These other ones do also. So that's where that guy fucked up on the four-wheeler. If I'd have rolled up and itemized all of the ways in which I know what I'm looking at, he wouldn't have said, oh, I did that. He'd have said something like, oh, I don't know, sounds like you know more about it than me. It was in his denial that he showed his guilt when he said, I did that. And by the time I showed him, I know you didn't do that, he probably assumes I was from another agency, sent there to test their security, just like hackers are hired to try to breach your firewall in order that you can know where your vulnerabilities are. That's like level with the ground right there. So that guy on the four-wheeler, if I'd have told him everything I know about this, what I'm looking at, he wouldn't have said, oh, I did that. He'd have said something else. But because he said right off the bat, I did that, that was a denial. Confirm or deny. I cannot confirm or deny. He denied and entered himself into the equation. When I showed him the evidence proves you're lying, he panicked. So, for the last 3 years, my mom has neither confirmed or denied anything. Till a few days ago, when I told her you have an opportunity to mend the relationship between your daughter and your granddaughters by revealing the truth about the microchip implant I discovered 3 years ago when Melanie was still living with Jeremy and still halfway functional human being. And her daughters might have some sympathy for her then rather than just seeing her as a heroin junkie monster. But you would have to play the bad guy. What do you mean I have to play the bad guy? Because you authorized it. I didn't authorize it. And I told her after 3 years, whatever you've come up with as your story, it's too late. About 3 years too late. Because you can tell me, oh, I didn't authorize it, but neither of your granddaughters are going to believe that, nor is your daughter. After 3 years of silence, your silence is deafening and speaks louder than your words. And I told you don't even bother with a deathbed confession. You could not come up with words that speak louder than your silence has over the past 3 years. Turns out the truth matters and the Pied Piper's ready to be paid. You might want to start practicing it a little. But some people are like dead batteries. A dead battery still has the physical vessel that once held the juice. And a lot of these people are like, I see dead people and they don't know they're dead. They don't have any spirit left in them. They are like a dead battery. The physical vessel that once held the breath of life is still walking, talking, and breathing, but they're dead inside. If you have a little bit of a spark of life left in you, you might want to use it now, and you can blow on that spark and turn it into a flame. Or don't. Or don't. Just pretend none of this is happening. And when I told her, maybe you should have told, them about my YouTube channel, and do you think you think Mariah would have joined the Satanic Temple if she'd been watching my YouTube channel the last 3 years? I also said, so did you tell them about the plasma fires? Oh yeah. What'd they say? They said it's weird. I can tell you right now what they said. They saw me out front cleaning the wood. What's Jeff doing out there? Oh, he's just cleaning burned wood. That's what he does. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it's pretty weird. That's your version of saying we talked about the plasma fires. The reason I didn't show them my YouTube channel was to spare the relationship between them and their grandmother. And if you're willing to sacrifice them because your own skin, you want to save your own skin, redeem yourself, alleviate yourself from responsibility by saying, oh, I didn't authorize it. If you want to engage in truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, I would be open to hear that. But using single phrases like that seals your fate and condemns you even more. You've been an accomplice after the fact, even if you didn't authorize it beforehand. For the last 38 years that you kept silent, you were an accomplice after the fact. For the last 3 years after I found mine and Melanie's, you were an accomplice after the fact by helping to conceal, engaging in the cover-up, And now you want to tell me, oh, I didn't authorize it, to clear your own name? You have one chance. I suggest you take it. Because you don't have long. Let me just film this, where is it? Not sure how well it's coming through, but those are log piles from a logging company over there, right in the center screen. It's a big old pile of logs. Just down and to the left of the windmills. And they keep sprinklers running on those 24/7. I'm gonna dedicate the song Natural by Imagine Dragons to young man Thane Jr., the guy on the four-wheeler. That's what I'm gonna call him. Gotta come up with a name for him. The reason I'm calling him Young Thane, he did the same thing as Old Man Thane when he said, I lit that fire. And I dedicate the song Natural to that guy. Because that song can be summed up with the phrase that it is not an indicator of one's well-being or mental and emotional health to be well-adjusted in a sick world. That's what that song is portraying. That you're a natural, living your life cutthroat. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. That guy on the four-wheeler sold his soul, living cutthroat. In the song by Imagine Dragons, Cutthroat, there's only one of us that will make it out alive, and it's not you. So there's another theme by Imagine Dragons. Break me down, build me back up, do whatever it takes. In the song, Whatever It Takes. You break me down, you build me up, believer. In the song, Believer. Cutthroat is the name of one of their songs. And in the song Natural, which I'm dedicating to Thane Jr., living your life cutthroat. That's the price you pay. Will you hold the line when everybody in this world is giving up and giving in this house of mine? Where nothing ever happens without consequence or cost. Tell me, will the stars align? Will heaven step in and will it save us from our sins? Because this house of mine stands strong, and that's the price you pay. Rather be the hunter than the prey. You know how that guy's the prey? Because this is a consciousness farm, and through evolutionary psychology, we're thinning the herd. And it is those who engage in psychological, mental, emotional, spiritual behaviors that promote life, that move forward in the evolution that Mormons call the law of eternal progression. As man is, God once was, and as God is, man may become. In that form of evolution, it is your consciousness that makes you the most fit to survive. Survival of the fittest, evolution, Darwinian evolution, survival of the fittest. In the long term, the fittest to survive are those who engage in behaviors that promote life, that build people up, not tear people down. Not engage in kidnapping insurance. That's pretty cutthroat business, I guarantee. And the guy who's now guarding the secret of the plasma fires wanted to chase me out of town, send me to jail for trespassing, falsify charges against me. Guaranteed he's been living life pretty cutthroat too. Only one of us will make it out alive, and it's not you. That's where this is going. We're gonna have some deeper, super spiritual talks here. So I got some more gravy. Let me just whiz through my phone real quick here, and see if I can find it. I got so much gravy, I'm just gonna have to give it to you straight off the pipe, like when Pauly Shore goes into the 7-Eleven, he's like, wheezing the juice, and he opens up the slurping machine and takes it straight from the tap. I'm gonna just have to go through and give you the gravy straight from the tap, because there's so much here. And I'm gonna just bring this video to a close right there. Let me just give you a couple samples of the gravy to come. I've told you all that we are the intel agents, and now this is the battlefield of psychological operations known as information warfare, Battlefield America. The theater of operations is worldwide and the stakes are global conquest, so strap on your boots and stop with the whining. We are the intel agents in a clandestine operation, so secretive that in the theater of operations, the agents don't even know they're agents until they're activated. And they don't get activated unless they engage in the type of behavior that this evolutionary psychology promotes. Otherwise, rock the cradle of love. It's the cradle of love. And we're going to empty that petri dish and reseed it. Everything I just wrote down above is written in digital writing, and we used to use sticks filled with rock and scribe on thin slabs of dead trees. We called them paper and pencil. That's where we were when we were sucked out of the Stone Age into the Information Age. So don't be like Eddie Murphy said his girlfriend was when she said, "What have you done for me lately, Eddie?" Right after he brought her from Africa on a zebra's back. He said, "Bitch, I brought you from Africa off that zebra's back." "I know, but what have you done for me lately, Eddie?" "I brought you out of the Stone Age. You were using sticks and stones to scribe on slabs of dead paper." Don't be like Eddie's girlfriend. I have to work on the second sacred mirror regarding lying. And just because I don't lie anymore, I gotta work on judging or not judging other people who still lie. Otherwise, I'm like the flat earthers who say, everyone who doesn't believe in flat earth and still talks about a round ball is a shill and an asshole and a fuckface and a double agent and an enemy of humanity because I just barely started not lying. How can I judge them for continuing to believe that it's a successful strategy in life? And I also have to work on not judging people who call me a liar or suspect me of lying because they still live in a world full of lying liars who lie. That's the second sacred mirror of the 7 sacred mirrors described by Greg Braden. The first, when you can't stand something about someone, often it's reflecting what you are in the moment. And if you can say certainly that's not the case, the second sacred mirror is that they are what you once were and no longer are. So you hold a strong emotional charge toward those who are not, like flat earthers who run around calling anyone who still believes in the globe, "Oh, you're a fuckface and retard and a shill and a double agent." What, because a year ago you changed your belief system, now everyone else that doesn't conform is now the bad guy? Likewise with lying. Shout out to Vanessa and that lady in your Mandela effect who talked about lying and how destructive it is. I'll include the link in the description for those who would like to watch. But it's just one she put out today. And we're going to leave it at that. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just read this one real quick. I don't even know what it says. It's just another little sample of directly from the tap in the gravy factory. If this is an educational and character building experience brought to you by the Illuminati, who marched you into the dry run ovens and loaded the New World Order machine with blanks to show you what was in store for you, that you were marching to show you what was in store for you, that you were marching one another into the oven in order that you will stop acting like sheep and attracting the real wolves, because the next guy will not be running a dry run, but the real deal, and thereby giving you back that idea that you must guard your liberty with jealousy through a personal experience that leaves you with knowing that becomes part of your being. Would you not want them to carry it out a little bit longer in order to wake the sheep? Or would you want them to stop now and admit that it was all a hoax? Remember the music video on Top of the World? It's a truth or celebration song for the day of disclosure about the moon landing. We'll leave it at that until I refine the gravy a little more. I've been waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. And I've been waiting to smile, hey, been holding it in for a while, hey. Take you with me if I can. More accurately, I'll take you with me if you will. Been dreaming of this since a child, and I'm on top of the world. And you know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you hit the ground. But get up now, and I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you hit the ground. But get up now. That's the song we'll be singing when they reveal the truth about the moon landing. Come on, you miner, for truth and delusion and shine. This is Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Link will be in the description. You reached for the secret too soon. You cried for the moon. You piper, you come on, you piper, you prisoner, you painter and shine, you trucker and shine. Okay, I threw in trucker. You seer of visions, come on, you raver. That song's for us. Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Link is in the description. I'm gonna also be going over some themes that run through those Imagine Dragons songs. Notice the colors, color scheme. That's a rainbow from an MB3 video. You can't really see the colors very well here. But when these aliens land and fall like lightning from heaven, you know that's exactly what those good Christians are all gonna say and declare them evil, demonic, fallen angels. Light blue, green, and yellow is a theme that runs through a lot of his music. There's the cover of the song Believer, blue, green, yellow. There's a theme going on here. There's a drop of blood. There's the DNA. Took an oath by the blood of my hand, I won't break it. That's in the song, I believe it's Natural. And then in this music video, you see this drop of blood come down and split on that pyramid and turn into those three colors. The blue, the green, the yellow. And he's fighting his future self in this music video, Believer. We're gonna talk more about the time loop, the Groundhog's Day effect. And it's getting so hot in here right now, I can't even stand it. But those three drops might be Negroid, Mongoloid, Coxoid, the three species that we refer to as human here. We'll talk about that more later.